Hi guys, welcome back to the Non-Immigrant Student Podcast. My name is Tolu and I film about faith, marriage, lifestyle, motherhood, marriage, etc. etc. LOL. Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Oh my god, you guys, please, I apologize. I've just, it's been... So if you read my most recent article about dancing with the devil, you'll see how I've almost been getting wasted on TVs, movies, YouTube channels included. So yeah. But anyway, welcome back guys. It's been like 2 weeks, since I have recorded an episode. And today is even Sunday. I usually record on Thursday evenings. So I'm really excited to be doing this on a Sunday, my favorite day of the week. I promised you all a bonus episode on learning to file your taxes. And as usual, being the princess that I am, the actual Cinderella, I filed my taxes on the deadline, May 17th. So I don't expect that this episode will exactly be for people who are filing for 2020. Although I hear you can still file late, but you just pay, I think, extra. So I don't know. But this is mostly for other international students who might want to file for 2021 next year. So let's jump right into it, I guess. But before we do, how have you been? Honestly, and thank you all to everyone who has been sending me emails after you've heard all my cries and woes and weeping, I'm so happy when I read your emails. Thank you all. And thank you all for as many of you who keep reaching out, because you need help with your visa and, all that. Thank you. Thank you for always reaching out. I appreciate it. And it's always nice to connect with you all. So yes, please keep doing that. Please keep those emails coming in. Now I feel so good always. Like now my inbox is, wait, just hold on a minute. Let me check it. Before it was just only me and my subscription emails that would be coming in. But now I think, let me see. You see, at least I have I'm still scrolling. Now I have I think 15 emails from normal human beings. Well, including my replies. But yeah, so thank you all. And just before we get right into it, I want to give a special shout out, a very special shout out to one of my ardent listeners from Ireland in Dublin in Ireland. Okay, he's not in Dublin, but he's in, he's in Ireland. That's all I know. I want to give a special shout out to him. He's a childhood friend, And after listening to my last episode on the question and answer episode that wrapped up season 1, where I talked about trying to get a Windows laptop or a MacBook. And in all honesty, I was still going to go for a Windows because obviously it's cheaper. But after everything, I think he binged on all the episodes. I'm not even really sure, but he sent a MacBook to me. He sent as a belated birthday gift, and also because he knew I was planning to get a laptop. That's the grandest gesture anyone has shown me, and I just want to give a special shout out to you. Thank you so much. And I remember telling some of my friends, and they were like, "Oh, they're going to start a podcast now." I'm like, even if you're thinking that, no, you're not. I tell you, you're not going to start a podcast, but. Well, oh well, if you eventually want to start one, let me know. I will hit you up. You can also use my referral link and both of us get $20. This is a very shameless plug. I'm not even, do you get? Please let me know so I can send you my link and we can both get $20 Amazon gift card. It's very useful. I use the $20 I got. I use it to buy my first set of makeup items. I brought foundation, eyebrow liner, eyeshadow palette, and then what else? I think I've had an eyeshadow palette before, but I gave it out to one of my younger sisters in Nigeria, but I've never owned a bottle of foundation. So you see, I still remember what I used that $20 to buy. So yeah, if you want to start a podcast, you should also hit me up. But okay, that's about it. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. I celebrate you. Thank you so much. And as you can hear, just in case the quality of this episode is better, it's because I'm recording live from my MacBook Pro. I'm so excited. Every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, look at you, shiny girl. It's so cool. It's so surreal that, yes, you know how they say kindness of strangers is real. Although he's not exactly a stranger, but yeah, you get the point. Okay, so yes, I'm recording from my MacBook, but just before I go into it, I always give a lot of preambles. For as many of you who follow me on Instagram at the Non-Immigrant Student, you know that Cornell University JABS group, and JABS stands for Johnson African Business Society, which is a club for graduate African students, really. But we're also trying to grow the community with undergraduates, and it's actually an MBA club even. But for some reason, I'm there. That's another whole long gist. But yeah, we did an event. We had an event, Jollof Wars, where it was like the battle of the Jollofs, from Kenya, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Nigeria. So we had this nice event to wrap up the semester, and the yours truly won. Yeah, give it up for Nigeria. Give it up. So Nigeria won the Jollof Wars. Although I would say that I felt like the Nigerian jollof I made, it was like bringing a gun to a knife fight. I don't feel like the other people really brought their A game. Okay, Ghana brought their A game. Like, they even came late. Like, don't worry, I don't want to have to spend so much time gisting about Jollof. Please check out my Instagram and check out I leave everything in my Instagram story highlights. There's so many memories in those story highlights. I'm like, God, can I call Instagram to download all these my memories, even though I have them on my phone, but it just feels special viewing them from Instagram. So please check them out. You'd see how the whole day went, how it was judged and all that. But eventually you'd see how Ghana came, the Ghanaian chefs, the guys who cooked for Ghana, they came late. They really brought their A+ game with salad, chicken, fish. I said, okay. And, up until the Jollof was, on the group chat all of us are on, people will be like with tension. Ghana will send video today of how their own Jollof is made with smoked turkey, fish, meat inside. Kenya sent their own video too of how their own jollof looks, like with potatoes and fish. And apparently Kenyans use basmati rice to make their jollof. Ghanaians use jasmine rice, while Nigerians use like the long grain rice. And we couldn't find anyone from Senegal to make, like Wolof. The original name, jollof, came from Senegal, and their dish is called chibudin or so. We couldn't find anyone from Senegal to make. But, I think Senegalese people to use short grain rice and long grain rice, whatever that is, TMI. But yeah, so the long and short of it is Nigeria one. You should check it out to look at how our rice look, And because of all these videos and tensioning they were doing, I was like, God, I have a feeling that everybody's going to bring their A game. And I don't want a situation where people will be like, no, Nigeria must lose because our mouth is too sharp, And they really, so I wanted a situation where the rice will be unrivaled, like undoubtedly nice. I've never made this kind of jollof before, but I did a lot of research, and I was telling my friend that all my Cornell classes I've taken here this semester, let me not add last semester, this semester, I didn't put in as much research as I did for that jollof. And that's the danger of always putting my passion before my books. Like, just because, I actually also, there's a part of me too that likes cooking. I was like, we need to kill this. I checked, for you, all of us in Nigeria, our food bloggers now, CCME, CC Jemima, delicious food. I checked everything. I watched videos like why your jollof rice doesn't turn out right. And I just kept watching different ones to see what different technique did they use. What else can I learn that my mom hasn't taught me? Like what in my 25 years of making, maybe not 25, in my 19 years of making, how long would I have been cooking? If I started cooking at 13. In my 12 years of cooking, what else don't I know? And I was like, yes, we're doing it. I even added fried meat. I cut up meat, boiled it, so that at least our own will have like protein inside, because you know how Nigerian jollof can be. But to the glory of our Lord Jesus Christ, we won. And every other person was even saying like things like, they came and met me that I know it's you that cooked this rice, because nobody was supposed to know who did who and which country's rice owned which rice. But I guess you could obviously tell. And then I was getting some bad energy from the other country cooks. They were saying, because after the event, I was like, I'm so tired, my feet hot, it's so long, I've been standing. And they're like, yes, because you were busy cooking another country's rice. So there's some people believe that the Nigerian rice I made tasted like Ghanaian rice because it had this smoky flavor. And I was like, girl, listen, I went to borrow pots. I didn't even care that in America they don't used to borrow pot, they don't used to talk to her. I messaged my friend and asked her, please, what kind of pans do you have? I need pans that are not non-stick pot. I borrowed the pots, like shamelessly, and I was like, we're going to get this smoky flavor. I did everything I could. So of course we won, but oh well. And I won an apron that is branded Cornell University. Don't laugh, okay? It's still valuable to me because apparently my other apron that I bought from Nigeria is bad. So now I'm happy with this new one. So yes, that's about how my week has been the past 2 weeks. And I low-key started the food business too. Well, when I mean low-key, I'm just trying it out. Like, because before this jollof rice, someone else asked me to cook food for them. Although I didn't call them money or ask to be paid or anything. But so I'm thinking about it. I might actually be able to do this. Okay, but I hope on your own end, you have been fine. You have been good. for all of us who are in school here, like in diaspora, I'm sure school is rounding up, and that's why I decided to also end this season. This is just a bonus episode. Season 2 should start sometime in June with a lot of interviews and sharing and hearing other people's stories. So I'm really excited for it too, because I'm like, okay, Oprah, okay, I can't wait to see you do your thing. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, so about filing your taxes, the long and short of it, there's actually nothing much to it. So I only know about 3 websites to use, like 3 platforms, or what would I call them, tax filing systems. I use TurboTax, although my school gave us the option to use Sprint. I also hear my friend in Texas, Pearl, who has also been on this show, said that she uses Glacier, or people in her school use Glacier. So you can check them out, Glacier, TurboTax, and Sprint. But I think Sprint is very international student friendly, and they required you to have your I-20, your passport, your W-2 form if you work, and your 1098T form if you paid like tuition, or whether if you got some scholarship or so. I'll go into detail shortly. So I was going to use Sprint because Sprint even gave us a code that we could use, maybe so that we won't pay for something, or like you get some money off instead of, so that you don't have to pay your full taxes. But for me, I actually had no tax returns, because so it's a whole website. When you log in, like I started out using Spring, so I had to upload my form. So because I work at Cornell, like Cornell pays me, I have 2 student jobs. One is salaried and one is paid hourly, bi-weekly or bi-monthly, or yeah, something like that. I get paid on 15th and 31st. So because Cornell pays me, I had to get a social security number, and I also had to file my taxes, although I had no tax returns to give back to the government. So apparently the tax system is a very interesting thing. Even as I was doing my tax, like the country is just good. Like, so now when I just see some things, I'm like, I think their problem is too much money. Do you know, apparently I didn't even know that clean energy had tax credit. So if you use if you probably have a Tesla, an electric car or hybrid car, I think you can get some money back. So the whole point is they give out all this credit to reduce your taxes. And I think the more money you pay, the more taxes you have actually. So that's just for a fact that I'm wilding on these streets. I didn't have any tax to return, maybe because in their eyes, my salary must be minus, on the scale of minus. But it's okay. I won't talk too much. But yeah, I'm not like PhD students that they pay in thousands. I get paid in hundreds of dollars. So, but my parents pay my rent, so I have to buy fend for myself in other ways that I can. And that's why I keep saying, please, if I advertise somebody's business here, I've done my due diligence. I've done everything I can do. Please patronize them so that I can get my commission. I earned my first $10 some weeks ago. I tweeted about that because I was really happy. So yeah, back to it. So I used TurboTax, as I was saying. And TurboTax, I was going to use Sprint, but I saw that they didn't allow me to upload my 1098T. That's the name of the form. It's my tuition statement. So I heard that if I upload that form, I'll get some tuition credits. And there was no space for me to upload this. I was like, no, I must get all my money, So that's how I now switched and I decided to do TurboTax. And someone also told me that with Sprint, so you can also do e-filing or actually submit your taxes in paper. You can mail it to IRS, federal tax returns, or state returns people. But so that's why someone was discouraging me from using Sprint, because I still have to pay to mail my documents. So I should just use TurboTax because they accept e-filing. So that was how I switched from Sprint to e-filing. And I wanted to do it myself so I could see the steps and I could actually do this episode. So apparently I even have a friend who, she told me already that if I needed someone to do my taxes for me, she had a guy. I think you just pay $40 and it helps you get your returns and all that. But I wanted to actually do it for myself and see if it was so hard or if it was so easy. And I was done in no time, Okay, actually, I was not really done in no time because I had to do it twice. But at the second time, it was easy breezy. So, TurboTax allowed me to upload that tuition statement. But because I was doing it on a freemium model, if I needed to get all my tax return, I needed to upgrade to the next stage, which is a whole nother thing. I think it takes $60 to upgrade. It takes a lot of money, almost $150 more to upgrade so I can get my full returns. But apparently when I uploaded my 1098T form, I had $4,000 in tuition credit, but I wasn't allowed to claim it until I upgraded to the premium model. And even if I upgraded, they would have deducted it from the money government was going to return to me. But like I said, the government did not return any money to me because probably all I earned was not enough to be taxed. I don't know. So there are different stages. If you also it's just like documenting everything you did with your money. So also, if you give donations, because here offering is called donation to the church, and other seeds and all that. I remember that, there's some I have done. And once you give, because I give online, if you give online, they send you a receipt actually. So I was able to pull up all those receipts and calculate how much I gave, and you put it in. So I think if you give a particular amount of donation, you get some money back. I don't recall getting any money back for donating. Maybe it's not enough, but it's alright. But yeah, so what next? So that was it. Then every single thing you've done with your money. Then there's also a form called the W-2 form. That one, like I said, wherever you work in the US, they should give that form to you. I'm holding it in my hand. It's called, there's a copy B and the copy C. That is filed with your employee's federal tax return. There's also the state tax return. All of this is a lot of financial jargon, but the whole point is it's easy to file your taxes, just in case you were wondering. And if you also couldn't be bothered by it, I think this business is legal, and I think if you reach out to me, I can connect you. I'm not sure, I don't want to put myself on the line, but I think someone helping you to do it is not wrong, because even like when you fill the form, they would ask you, are you filling the form for yourself, or are you filling it for someone that is dead, or are you filling it for, you have all these like precursory questions you have to answer. What else? So you can see here that the wages and tips I earned in 2020 were $719. Well, to be fair, this is for 2020 and not 2021. So $719. My social security wage is $53, and all these things are small money compared to like what some people earn, and all that. So based on that, I was not owing the government anything, neither were they owing me anything. Then just as I was about to check out, they now asked me, did you receive the stimulus check from our Uncle Biden? Or whether, I think it was even Daddy Trump actually that initiated the stimmy checks. I'm not really sure, and I don't really care. But the good news is I have a stimmy check on the way. That's the most important thing right now. And I keep opening this website to check when it's going to drop. But yeah, so because I did not get last year, I think I'm eligible for stimmy check. They call it stimmy, like just like a slang thing, but it's actually a stimulus check. So I think it was like, how in Nigeria we call it palliative, here, like something like unemployment benefit, like COVID-19 pandemic relief package, something like that. So I think the whole of 2020, they gave citizens that were eligible for that because they were probably not earning enough. So I really like how they take care of themselves here. Even the food stamps, the SNAP benefit, if you earn below a certain limit. I'm like, I can never be poor in this land. Even if I'm poor, the land still does not want you to be poor. Do you get? Although I think housing is a big deal here. Like, it's still hard to find like a decent housing. But at least you're not hungry, and they still have, you can still fend for yourself health-wise. Although all our stories are different. If you talk to someone else, they'll probably be cursing on the country. That is like actual citizens of this place. But for me, from my end, coming from Nigeria, I really think they're doing a good job taking care of their citizens. So I think that's all about it for my filing of taxes. But eventually, because the federal returns wasn't going to give me money, I was like, so what's the use of upgrading to the premium model on turbo tax to get my $4,000 back? So I now found out that even that $4,000 is like a credit. So let's say I was supposed to pay the government $10,000 in tax returns. Because I'd paid tuition, you get back some money for paying tuition, like between $1,000 to $4,000 or more. So if I was owing government $10,000, they would have taken off $4,000 from it. So there are a lot of things they used to remove to reduce your tax and to increase your tax. So like I said, I think some people who give donations, they have tax credits. If I was paying property tax, there are tax credits. If I was paying, if I drive an electric car, or like if I'm contributing to clean energy, I have some cut, So there are different things. If I was a single mother, if I lived in a certain way or lived in a certain house, I can get certain tax credits. They give me money back just because you have been doing certain things. So that's really just, I think, the big and short of filing your taxes. So if you have any other random questions, you can hit me up. But honestly, I think you can do it by yourself. And maybe for 2021, I'll have to do another episode because it might be different. In 2020, I got here in November, so how much could I have possibly earned? Although they paid the backlog, because I was supposed to start working in August, so they paid the backlog when I got here. And I worked from November till December. And so you need to have filed your taxes by, it's usually April 15th, but because of the global pandemic, in air quotes, they extended it till May 17th. And I did it on May 17th, and I got my stimmy check. And I'm still, every time I open my TurboTax, I'm so excited just to see it there. I'm like, oh my God, I'm living the American dream. Almost. But yeah, so guys, I will see you in the next season. I'm so excited. I'm even having ideas, of how, since this summer break, my summer internship is remote. That's also something I'm currently finalizing. I'll probably also do an episode on that. Get an internship and all that, and also interview people who got internships in like Big Fives, Big Fours, Big Threes, and all that. And what was I going to say now? I was trying to think about how else we can spice up the podcast, even though like Instagram is a face to the podcast. I was also thinking of, doing like Instagram lives. I've also found another means of how I can record live podcasts, and ask people to live stream. I can also so as I'm interviewing with these people, I can make a video and audio and then upload them to Instagram as well, or open a YouTube page. But all these things require a full-time job, and nobody's exactly paying. Even though Jesus is beginning to pay me, I have a free man, but quite. But yeah, so I think that's about it, honestly. But yeah, that's really about it. I said I was just going to gist you guys about how Jollof went, and how what other thing did they even tell me? Okay, even some of the people, I think people were salty about Isha, that it's because a lot of Nigerians were at the event. But there were some other people there too who were saying it was a clear win. Then some other people were saying things like it's because it's a lie that even Ghana Jollof was also very tasty, but we all still voted for ourselves. When you're great, you don't really fight. It was obviously not a competition. But it's okay. Oh my God. I hope none of them ever listen to this. God, that's the problem with having having a podcast. But it's fine. That's why if not that the people I'm talking about could possibly listen to this podcast, I would have really given you guys full gist. But it's okay. If you need the full gist, you know where to find me. Hit me up on any of my social media and we'll talk. But yeah, I think that's about it. Non-immigrant students, I hope all of you are preparing for the summer. I have quite a few summer plans. I hope you have too. I don't want to give too much away, but I want you to be expectant about the new season. I'm also expectant, and pray with me too that you enjoy the episodes, and the people we're also bringing on the show are willing to share their stories to inspire people. So I think that is about it, you guys. I want the episode to end at 25 minutes because I have a thing for round numbers. But all in all, I hope you're fine. Things in Nigeria seem to be tense. I've been on Twitter for the past 1 week and I haven't heard any other, uproaring stories. So I hope all of you are fine where you are. Here, kidnapping is more rampant in Lekki. But I hope everyone is staying safe. And to my followers in Ghana, my very loyal followers who always message me, my followers in Ghana, shout out to you. Kenya, shout out to you. And for as many of you, also introduce yourself to me, shoot me an email, and let's continue to talk there. So I guess that officially wraps the end of season 1. I'm finally done, and I'll see you in season 2. Bye guys, take care.